Hello! Do you love history? And if you are, stay right there and I'll tell you about the first cry of revolution.
First Cry of Revolution by Stanley Nicole Baldu. The First Cry of Revolution became the movement of the Filipinos to fight back on the tyrannical rule of the Spanish regime. It is also called as the First Cry, the Revolution of Independence. Filipinos tore their cedulas or tax receipt and proclaimed the start to fight for independence, the main goal. Andres Bonifacio said that they will start the revolution by the end of the month. But because some of the Katipuneros were arrested, Bonifacio found it wise to start the revolution that day and attack Manila at the end of the month. Happened on August 23, 1896 at Tupugad, Lawin. There are different versions of primary sources where and when was the first cry really happened. The eyewitnesses of the first-hand information were Dr. Pio Valenzuela, Santiago Alvarez, Guillermo Masangkay, and Gregorio de Jesus.
So first, let's talk about the version of Dr. Pio Valenzuela.
Dr. Pio Valenzuela. Dr. Pio Valenzuela's account, The Cry of Pugad Lawin. There are two versions presented by him. First, the cry happened at Balintawak on August 26, 1896. And second, the cry happened at Pugad Lawin on August 23, 1896. On August 22, 1896, the first place where 500 members of the Katipunan met was at the house and yard of Apolonio Samson at Kangkong. But only views were exchanged and no resolutions was debated or adopted. On August 23, 1896, over 1,000 members of the Katipunan met at Pugad Lawin, in the house, storehouse, and yard of Juan Ramos, son of Melchor Aquino. This time, they carried out considerable debate and discussion. After the meeting, many of those present tore their cedula certificates and shouted, "Long live the Philippines! Long live the Philippines!"
Second is the version of Santiago Alvarez.
Santiago Alvarez. Santiago Alvarez account, The Cry of Bahay Toro. They went to Kangkong at the house of Apolonio Samson. There are only less than 300 members who gathered there on August 22, 1896. Because of the fear that the enemies would know their whereabouts and attack them on the sly, they moved to Bahay Toro and arrived in August 23, 1896. There are more than 500 members who gathered at the house of Cabezang Melchora. On August 24, 1896, there are already more than 1,000 members. The meeting took place inside of Cabezang Melchora's barn, but some stood outside because the barn cannot accompany all the members. The following matters were approved at the meeting. Number 1. An uprising to defend the people's freedom was to be started at midnight of Saturday, August 29, 1896. Number 2. To be in a state of alert so that the Katipunan forces could strike should the situation arise where the enemy was at a disadvantage. Thus, the uprising could be started earlier than the agreed time of midnight 29 August 1896 should a favorable opportunity arise at that date. Everyone should steel himself and be resolute in the struggle that was imminent. Number 3. The immediate objective was the capture of Manila. After the adjournment of the meeting at 12 noon, there were tumultuous shouts of "Long live the sons of the people!"
Third is the version of Guillermo Masangkay.
Guillermo Masangkay. Guillermo Masangkay's account, The Cry of Balintawak. In the first decade of American rule, it was his account that was used by the government and civic officials to fix date and place of the first cry, which was kept with the erection of the monument to the heroes of 1896 in that place on August 26, 1896, a big meeting was held in Balintawak at the house of Apolonio Samson, then the cabeza of that barrio of Caloocan. The purpose was to discuss when the uprising was to take place. Teodoro Plata, Bricio Pantas, and Pio Valenzuela opposed the idea of Andres Bonifacio to start the revolution early because they want to be prepared before starting it to avoid distress. But still, the revolution started early because most of the members was convinced by Bonifacio to revolt and tore their cedulas. After deciding, they shouted, "Long live the Philippine Republic!"
Last but not the least is the version of Gregoria de Jesus.
Gregoria de Jesus. Gregoria de Jesus. The first cry. The first cry happened near Caloocan on August 25, 1896. She knew that the Spanish would arrest her, so she decided to go to Manila. No one accepted her because they are afraid of what might happen to them if they accompany her. But those owners of the houses that she visited were seized and punished, including her uncle who died. My reflection. There are 4 different versions of the first cry of revolution, but we all know that revolution started by tearing their cedulas. But regardless of that, I admire how these Katipuneros fought for their freedom. This part of the Philippine history, it shows how determined Filipinos to fight for their freedom. Even though their lives might be taken if they start revolution, they stood still and started it. They were outnumbered by the Spaniards, but their bravery and love for their country kept them strong. I might not witness it with my own eyes, but I appreciate all their sacrifices that they have done just to achieve freedom. Thus, remember to always give importance to every historic event happened in our country because they play a vital role in this world we are living in.
And that's the story of the first revolution. But before I end this video, I just want to thank you for watching. Have a nice day. See you next time. Bye.